Okay. I have started. Should I repeat? Because I will just, for the sake of recording, I will simply reiterate the points. So first, I want uh, Bootstrap Jumbotron. So for that, I will use b4 hyphen Jumbotron, and I will use default or fluid. So if I use default, what will be the heading? So heading I can put like responsive web designing. Then text I can subheading I can put using Bootstrap 4. If I do not require anything else, I can remove that. Let us see how does this look. So we have a responsive web design using the default structure. Next. So next was carousel. So for carousel again I will write b4 carousel default. Now carousel by default 3 images are there. So I will change the source of the images. So source equal to img slash pick1. Then for second one, so I added 3 so I added 3 images. If you want to add more images, you will have to add here the list items and then the corresponding carousel item. So let us see how does this look now. So this is the carousel. Only thing is the height is more. So I will add a style sheet to reduce the size. So a style, and the image, if you see here, images are under the class carousel item. So I will change it to dot and I will change the height to 70 VH. 70 VH means 70% of the viewport height. Viewport means the display height. Now if I go, so the size is reduced. Okay. Next question is, please explain class equal to lead in Jumbotron. Okay, nothing. It is just to change the appearance of the paragraph. Yeah, if I remove it, the look is different. and the look is different. So just it changes the, it is for typography. So how the text appears. So most of the things you can check it yourself by changing the classes. So add classes, remove classes, you can check it yourself. Next, navbar. So navbar I will use B4, again navbar. So navbar default. Now navbar default will come with some default links. So you can see the brand name is there and the 3 links are there with a drop down, and then a search box is there. Okay, so we need to change that. So like for navbar, first one is like here it is written navbar light. Okay, so I will use navbar dark. So navbar dark will basically, currently it is white color, it will become so currently it is a light color. So I will change it to navbar dark and background also to dark, so that it is background as well as the items are as per the dark theme. So you can see that navbar has changed to black color. Now next thing is the brand. So brand is basically either some text or you can put your company logo. So that is navbar brand. So I can use, like suppose I want to put CDAC logo. So image source equal to img slash cdac.png, or since it is a black, I will use white. So and then width equal to suppose 40. Okay. Okay. So what I was saying is that the navigation bar, first thing I can change the navigation bar into a dark one by changing the class navbar light to navbar dark, and background also from background light to background dark. Okay. This was the first thing. Second thing was that I can add my company logo as a navbar brand. So navbar brand, I will add my company logo. So suppose I have added image slash cdac underscore white dot png. So if you see here, cdac image is appearing here. I can increase the size. So now cdac image is appearing here. Next is changing the menu items. So home is fine. Then I can add like products, and next I can add services, and the drop down I can add some service name like IT data recovery or system administration. So I'm adding some services. If I have to add any more thing, I will simply change the nav item. So after products, I can add about us. Okay, so in this way I can add. Now search box, if I do not want, I can remove the search box. And if you want to log in and sign in on the right hand side, you will have to add another UL list. And inside again, I will use item list item. So control V, control V. One I will use like for login. On the another I will use for sign up. Okay. So in this navigation, if I want to add more links or menu items, I will have to add this li class equal to nav item. Okay. If I want to add items on the right hand side, so I can add one more ul, unordered list, and then inside that unordered list, I will use float right for going on the right hand side of the menu bar. So you can see login and sign up is on the right hand side, and home, product, about us, and services are on the left hand side. Yeah, advice. Okay, just want to say it will be quite difficult for you to remember everything as I am demonstrating, but just to understand important point. So like in navigation bar, if uh, I add the navigation bar on this place, all I need to do is add items. So for adding item, I will use li class equal to nav item. And then if you want to change the brand here in the nav brand, you will have to either put some text, or you can change, you can add an image also. Next was for the navigation bar color. So by default it was navbar light. I used navbar dark, and background also I used background dark. So you may not remember everything, but it's all about practice where you have to make changes to change your website. Okay, so Navbar is done. Just now we saw search bar was already there. So search bar was already there. Now to display the content, we need to work on Ajax. So Ajax we will cover on Wednesday, and you can see how the search bar works. Now, so next one is some small components which we will go one by one. So these navigation bar, carousel were the bigger items. Remaining are small items. So let us go one by one. So I will start with creating a container. Now everything will be inside a container and row. So container. And I will use 4 columns for displaying each content. So like, so we'll start with images. So let's start with images. Now to display any image in Bootstrap, we have so first we have as classes like for image we will specify the source. So image source is suppose img slash anup.jpg, and then class suppose I put class rounded. So it means the corner will be rounded. I will copy paste this. And then the last one, and this rounded I will change to rounded circle. So the image will appear in a circular way. And then all image, let us first see how does this look like. Then we will make another change. So we are using 444 and we are showing 3 images. One class is img rounded. Another one is again img rounded, or I can remove rounded default image. And the third one is rounded circle. It means a circle will come across the image. Okay, so can you see the images now? Only change is that the images are all of different sizes. So that's why the sizes, the change is here. Now what we will try to do is, I will change to width to 100%. Okay, Now let us see how does this look like. Now can you see all are like of the same size. All images are of the same size. So this is for images. So first one is rounded corner. Of course, you are not getting the rounded corner because the background is white. So what I will do is I will change the classes. So instead of first, I will put rounded classes to the second one. And then you can see it's not much rounding, but the this corner is rounded. For this, corner is not rounded, and this is totally a circular image, rounded circle. So this is how we represent images in Bootstrap by default. And then there are responsive image also. So which will change its size depending on what is the size class. Next. So next, I will simply copy paste this. So image is done. Now after that, we'll move on to a small things like pagination, then alerts, then pages. Okay, so let us first start with pagination. So to show a pagination, I will use before pagination. Okay, so pagination so one way is that in pagination there will be one previous to go to the previous page, one will be the next to go on the next page, and then remaining will be page numbers. So like page number 1, and suppose this is page number 2. Or I can write 2 and 3. Because by default, I will be on page number 1. So can you see this page number 2 and 3, and this is next, this is previous, and these are the in between page number 2 and 3. I can add more pages by changing this to Control C and Control V. Now I can put this as 4th. So now I have 2, 3, and 4. So I have 3 pages on this pagination. Now one more thing is that currently you can see is 2 is highlighted. It is of the blue color. So it means it is the active. So I am currently on page number 2. If I am currently on page number 3, then I will have to highlight the page number 3. So how do I do that? So for that, there is active class. So instead of 2, I will put it to active class to 3. So in that case, 3 will become the active page. Means I am currently on page number 3. So it became this page number 3 became the active page. Now, of course, this will be pagination won't come alone. It will come with a table. So there will be a table, and then on that table, you can add page number 2, 3, or there may be a list items. And then for next list item, you will have to use the pagination. So this is pagination. Next. Alert. So before alert. So alert, so in the alert, basically, suppose that you have entered wrong username password. So in that case, a alert will come that username or password is incorrect. So in Bootstrap 4, there is a alert class which can be used for showing the error. So like error incorrect username / password. Okay, so in this way I can show alert. Alert is nothing but a class with alert alert class with on a div, and primary is only for the color. Blue color is primary, success is green, danger is red color, warning is yellow color. So some predefined colors are there. Otherwise, if you want to change the color, you can use a style and color equal to whatever color you want to set. But these are the default colors. So like this is the error incorrect username password. If you want to click on close, the error will go. Click on close, error will go. So this is your alert. You can change the alert color. So like currently it is primary, you can change it to danger because the error, it's an error, so it should be in red color. So error danger I will use. And now it is in red color. बेसिक क्लासेस, क्वेश्चन इज बेसिक क्लासेस का चीट शीट मिलेगा क्या कहीं पे? Most of them are on this most of them are on W3 school, of course. There will be a list for B4 Bootstrap 4 classes, but all the important one I will cover in this class. So you can just put this, keep this page as your cheat sheet. But this will only work on Bootstrap 4. If later some changes happen, then again you will have to refer the Bootstrap 4 page or W3 school page. So this is alert. Next is batches. So B4 batch. So like suppose, so you would have seen some notification that 3 messages, or if any, like Facebook friend request has come, so there are 3 friend requests. So all that cases, they are like batches. So for batches, we use batch class, batch, and batch primary means primary is the color. So if I want in red color, I will use it to batch danger. So let us see how does this look like. So this is notification and 3. So instead of notification, like Facebook uses its icon, globe icon for notification. So we can also use icon. How to add icon, we'll see in a minute, in a while. After it completing this, we will cover font awesome, in which I will tell you about the icons. Next. So after images, now we will see tables. Tables. Now, or before going to table, we'll see buttons. Buttons, then button groups, and then progress bar. So any downloading, uploading, you may be showing the progress. So for that, progress bar. Now button. Now if you remember in the HTML class that so in the HTML class, I told you that any button can be created using 3 things, like button is itself there, tag, button tag, then input type equal to submit, input type equal to button. Now here we can add more, like using anchor also I can create a button. Okay, so let us see first B4 button. and button from the anchor. And inside the anchor, I will write whatever button, like button 1. This is button 1. Second one I can create using the default button. So for that I will use B4 button default, and inside that I will write button 2. Third one is B4 button using the input, and then again value I will have to write button 3. So I have basically added 3 buttons, one using anchor, another one using button, and third one using input. Now let us see how the buttons look like. So these are button 1, 2, 3, but all are of same color. So I can change the color using this button primary. I will change button success. Instead of primary also, I will change it to info. And instead of this next primary, I can use button warning. So these are the 3 buttons. So you can see color has changed. So this is how I can design a button. Now next, button group. So button group is nothing but a collection of buttons. So currently there is a gap between the buttons. If I create a button group, it will look like a single button. So button group B4 button group default. So first one I can put warning, and then danger, success. 3 buttons, and I have to write the content on that. So button 1, button 2, and button 3. So there are 3 buttons with 3 different colors in this button group. So button group is the class BTN group. Now let us see how does that look. So you can see button 1, 2, 3 button groups are there. 1, 2, 3. Next, progress bar. So for progress bar, I will use B4 progress. So like description is what task. So like downloading. And then there are 2 things, width. If 25%, it means that it has downloaded 25%. So I can use it to 40%, and similarly current value also has to be changed to 40. Okay, now let us see the progress bar. So currently this is the progress bar, and it is 40% complete. Now it looks very small in height. So how can I increase the height? So for that, I will have to use the style. So style height 20 pixels suppose. And similarly for this also, style height 20 pixel. So now downloading is a bit bigger. If I want to change it more, I can use 40, 40. And the size has increased. So this is how we change the size of the progress bar. So this is done. Next. So in HTML we saw list. So same thing here also is there, list group. Then spinners and then card. So one by one we'll go. So first thing is list group. So before list, now I can, so this is the list group, and in this I can add items. So like PHP, Bootstrap 4, and then consider jQuery. So you can add more items, just copy paste this. So if you copy paste this, the number of items will increase. Now let us see how does this look like. So this is the list group for PHP, Bootstrap 4 and jQuery. So 3 list items are there. And currently PHP is active. As you saw here, the active class. So currently PHP is active. So suppose that you want to display some information on the right hand side. So if someone clicks on Bootstrap 4, then information of Bootstrap 4 will be displayed and this will become the active class. So in this way, the list can be used. So this is list. Next is a spinner. So basically, sometime you would have been seeing loading page. A circle will be keep moving, loading, loading, loading. So for that we use a spinner. So class equal to a spinner, and border. There are 2 type of a spinner. I will show you one by one. So text info is for changing the color of the spinner. Now there is second type of a spinner, a spin class equal to a spinner grow, and then suppose I change the color to text and danger. So let us see how the spinner looks like. So see this. So this is the grow, which is growing from 0, and this is the circle. So it keeps moving until something either downloads or uploads. Okay, so a spinner gone. Cards. Now card is for displaying some information. So some information with image. So like image and then caption and next other information. So like before card, and I will use default card. Now in the card I am using one image. So let me use anup.jpg, and title I will write in title I will write the name. CTech Bangalore. So I have added one image and some information. So title and some text. Now let us see how does this look like. So you can see here. So the image is being displayed and then the name and the information. in a card with a border. So this is called the card. Okay, next we'll go to tables. So tables, and in this I will show the entire table here. So I will take an offset of 4 and show the table at the middle. So currently buttons are showing. Instead of button, I will show you the tables. So let us remove the buttons and table. So B4 table. So table default. Now I can use something like serial number in the header part, serial number, then name, and then suppose salary. Okay, and then in the table data, I will use like serial number 1, name Anup, salary 10,000, and then serial number 2, name Ashish, and salary suppose 20,000. So this is a table. Now let us see how does this look like, the default table. So the default table is like this. So one header is there, and then the rows will be there like this, 1, 2, 3. Now if you want to make some changes, let us see. So one is, if you see, the table is only separated through the horizontal line. If you want full border, then you will have to use table bordered. So if I add this, table will have a border. Can you see? Border has come. Now, second thing is, if I am moving my mouse, it is not clear that whether which row it is on. So I can use table hover to give an effect of hovering. So table hover. Now if I take my mouse, you can see wherever I'm taking, the effect is generated. The background color is being changed. Okay. Next is, if I want to change the header color to dark, so I can use T head and dark. So in this, header will be on a dark screen. So can you see the table header is on a dark screen. Second thing is, for the table, if I want to change the color of each individual row, like currently they both are white, I want to change the color, then in that case, for each row, I would like to change the, except for header, I will change the class. So class equal to, suppose I write table and primary, then it will be blue color. Or if I use table success, it will be green color. And second row I will use class table warning, so it will be yellow color. So to change the color of the individual row, I have to add class in the row itself. So for this row, class is table success. Success is for green color and warning is for yellow color. So now you can see that one row is green and one row is yellow color. So this is how we add a we show a table. Okay, next one is modals. So okay, Damni is asking if you want to add other color, then other colors are like table primary, table danger, table info, table dark, table secondary, table light. So many colors are there, but by default I think 7-8 colors are there. Other than that, if you want, then you will have to use a style. So a style background color and set the background color. So by default colors are limited 7-8. Other than that, you will have to change using CSS. Okay, so next part is modals. So modals is like Facebook. So if you in Facebook, if you click on an image, so basically on Facebook, yeah, if you click on an image, it will come on the top, and the background will become disabled. So you cannot change the background unless you close this. So this is called modal behavior. So how do I add a modal? So for that, so each modal will be first thing associated with a button, because on clicking on something, then the modal will appear. So one is the trigger, who is triggering, and second one is the modal, what will be the content which will be displayed. So like in this Facebook example, the trigger is the image. So I clicked on an image and the modal came. And what is the content of the modal? So content is the photo, and then the comment, and the name of the post, person who has posted it. So this is the modal content, and this is the one which triggered the modal. So there are two things. So let us move on to modal. So modal default. So see, can you see here it says button trigger modal. So this is a button which will basically trigger the modal. So let us put a modal, launch modal. Okay, and then inside model, some title will be there. Title means like personal detail. Like if you go to Facebook, the title is like here, photos from Madhuranjan Dheeraj's post. So some title is there, and then this is the body part. So in body part, what I will do is I will add a card, so that I can write anything for display purpose. So like this is modal body. I can write that also. Now if I click on launch modal, the modal will appear, and only this is modal body is written. This is modal body, and click on close. There is one more button, save button. I don't want that button, so I will remove that button. And instead of modal body, I will add a card. So B4 card. And I will change it to anoop.jpg, and title I will put Anoop, and subtext I will put to something CDAC. Now if I click on the modal, the card should appear, because I have added the card inside modal body part. So if I add launch modal, the card is being shown. So you can see the card in the modal. Now let us expand this. So what we can do is, in the table that we created, we can add one more header for details, and then I will add two buttons here. So basically it will be the trigger button. So let us add this trigger button. And instead of launch modal, I will write simply click. Now same thing I can do with second one also. So basically in the table itself, I have added the modal button so that if someone clicks here, okay, 10K is repeated. I will remove this 10K first. So in the table itself, if someone wants to view the detail of Anup, so he can click and his image and his detail will come. And similarly for Ashish, again his Ashish detail will come. So currently there is only one modal, so only one is opening. If I want to create another modal, so I will simply copy paste this modal. Control C and Control V. And I will change this name to like Ashish and Union Bank, and change his image to suppose. Now one more thing is that there are two modals. So which one will open on which one? So for that, modal ID is basically one which connects the button and the modal. So first one is modal ID, second one I will put as modal ID 2. And similarly in the table also I will have to connect. So you can see here data target. So data target says that which one to connect. So for the second button of modal, I will use modal 2, modal ID 2. So now on click of first, Anup will appear and his detail will appear. And for on click on second, another, for Ashish the detail will appear. So this is, I added two modals, and then each modal will have a modal ID, modal ID 2. I can put any ID, and for one is modal ID 1. And then in the button, I will have to add a data target that on click of this button, which modal will be opened. So on the click of first button, modal ID will be opened, and on second, modal ID 2 will be opened. So this is modal. Okay, so modal is done. Okay, next one is form. So for form, we'll go on top. So because form is an essential element of an HTML. So we'll start with forms. Now here there are two forms. One is inline form and another one is the usual S-tagged form, in which one will appear below another one. So let us see first the inline form. So B4 form inline. Okay, so inline form is there. Now let us see how does this look first, and then we will change. So currently in the form, there is only one input box and a help text, which I do not require. So let us change one by one. So first thing is, in the inline form, I can use the label. So label, and this is username, and the label, and similarly for password also, I can create another input and label. So Control C, Control V. So this will be for password. and I will put the placeholder as password. Remember, you also need to specify the name, because without name the data won't go. So username and password. And then finally you need a button. So before submit button, so you need a submit button. So instead of like username password, you can put a login. Now let us see how does this inline form looks. So username and then the username box, password and the password box, and then the login button. Now next thing is that the margin is very less. There is no margin. Everything is like stitched together. So I want margin. Now for margin also there is a class. Okay. So for margin, the class is M. So I can use M1, 2, 3, 4. Four sizes are there. So M1 to 4 I can use. So it will set the margin on all direction, top, bottom, left, right. Or I can use only for left or only for right. Okay. So form control is a class for displaying the inputs. So if I change the form controls, these are the input classes which are the controls. If I change it, then the look will change. The default look will come. So since I only want left right, so I will use my. So my2. Sorry. And here also I will use mx2. So now you can see that there is a distance between the label and the input box everywhere. So this is an inline form. If you want this required, you can always add required at the end. Here, required. For not everything, some things are by default what it is. Bootstrap for these things is only for the layout, look and feel. Also for password, you have to change the type to password. So this is inline form. I will change the header to inline form. So inline form, nothing, only for the form, you have to change the class as form inline. Now next. So this one is normal form. So I will delete the inline form from here. And I will use B4. How to give username with asterisk. So here you type asterisk with soup and asterisk. So can you see asterisk has come over soup? And if you want to change the color, so for the soup, you can use class equal to text danger. So now the soup is, this asterisk is red color. So you can change the color. If you want to change the size, again you will have to change the font size, and so on. Okay, so form, the normal form I have to see to form, and form group. So form group. Or I can use something else instead of this form. I'll use before form so next is normal form, and inside normal form I can use form groups. So I will write before form group, and then suppose this first one is username, and I will remove the text. Okay, and second form group I will put for the password, so control V. Another form group, this will be like password. Again, type has to be changed to password, and placeholder user name password. Okay, and then finally we require a submit button. So before submit login. Now let us see how does this look. So this is username and password, and then the login button. Now this is stacked. Stacked means one on top of other. This is not inline, rather this is stacked. Now there are two things. So input is totally on full width. So if you want to change the width, you have to change the column. So instead of column, so like here, I can use column 4, and then I can change the offset 4. So first 4 I will leave, and then column 4. So now it will be only adjusted in a 4 column width. So it is now only adjusted in 4 column width, a small, it has become a small. So how much width do you want? You can change using the column attribute. Now second thing, you can see that it comes pre-filled. So if I do not want it to be pre-filled, there is a thing autocomplete. Autocomplete equal to new password. So if I set autocomplete equal to new password in the password field, then it won't be pre-filled. So currently you can see it is pre-filled with some username password. So that will go. So now it is not pre-filled, but since I did not change for this inline form, for this it is still appearing. Okay, so this is autocomplete. So only for password we put autocomplete equal to new password. Otherwise, for if we want to change for entire form, so for entire form we use in the form. So in the form I will write autocomplete equal to off, so that it doesn't give suggestion, because many times in address also it will automatically give some suggestions. So if you do not want the suggestions, then you use autocomplete off. So this is form. Now last but not the least, forget it. There are many extra things in Bootstrap which you do not require really. So the last thing is collapse. The last thing is collapse. So what is collapse? That you would have seen at many places that if you click on like a button, information will come. Again, if you click on the button, the information will disappear. Or there may be a set of buttons. So if you click on first button, information will be shown. If you click on second button, first one will close and the second information will show. That is called accordion. So let us go one by one. We'll go faster this time. So I will copy this. accordion. So let me remove the form B4 accordion. Okay, now I will go with the default whatever is written and just show you the functionality. So currently like section 1 and this information is for section 1, then section 2 and this is the information for section 2. I can close also first one also and so on. So this is accordion. So but now one thing is that you can see that both are open simultaneously. So usually when you click on first, second will close. If you click on second, first will close. Okay, so how to do that? So for that there is a data parent. So data parent should be in the content part. So this is the section 1 content. So I will add it here, Control V. And similarly for the second section also, data parent is written here, Control X. I will change into content part, Control Save. Now let us see this. So section 1, if we open section 2, 1 will close. If we run section 1, 2 will close and so on. So this is accordion. Now last thing is the default collapse. So and we will see a good example of this. So B4 collapse default, or collapse with collapse button we can go. So this is the button name. So and in this I have to write a content. So like I am invisible. Okay, so by default this collapse means this won't be visible, but if someone clicks on the button then it will be visible. So currently there is nothing, but if I click on show, it is showing. If I click again, it will disappear and so on. Now let us use this to create a inline form login. So how can I create an inline form login? So we already have the inline form. Let us copy paste it. So inline form I will copy and paste it instead of I am invisible. Okay, save. So now let us see. So if someone clicks on show, login will appear or disappear. Now instead of show button, we can add it to login button. Okay, so how to add it to login button? So this already we have a button, show button. Control X, I will move it to login button. Control V, and instead of show, I will write it here, login. Now let us see. So I have a login button. If someone clicks and login is appearing, but only problem is login button is this side and the form is appearing on the left hand side. So let us move this also on the right hand side. So for that, all we need to do is this. I have to use float right. Okay, so in this collapse I am using another class float right for moving this on the right hand side. Now if I click on login, so login will come here at the bottom. So anyone wants to log in, he can click on login, the item will appear here, the login screen, and then he can log in. Okay, so that's all from my side. Font awesome is remaining, so we'll see at 2:30. For now we'll disperse. If you have any question, we can take at 2:30. Only thing is I explain how this is working, but I cannot make you remember everything. That's why I also am using this Bootstrap extension, because it creates, writes the code for me, and all I have to do is make changes. So small changes are there. Just you need to know where to make the change. Yes, 230 lab. Okay. We'll, okay. See you at 2:30.